In 2026, Melbourne is getting a new type of suburban train. This is the X'trapolis 2.0, which have been testing around the network over the last 12 months or so, and will be entering passenger service very soon on the Craigieburn, Upfield and Frankston lines. I was recently invited down to Newport Workshops to check out one of these brand new trains, so in this video we're going to take a look inside and see what they're like. First though, a quick bit of background. The X'trapolis 2s are being built by Alstom at their Ballarat North workshops, with the completed trains being diesel hauled to Melbourne for testing and commissioning. The original order was for 25 trains, with a recent government announcement extending that to 50, enough to completely replace the ComEng fleet built in the 1980s, which I will be very sad about. These trains are a relative of our existing X'trapolis 100s, the oldest of which are now in their mid-20s. However, they're really just from the same broad family, and the design has evolved a huge amount over time, so despite the name, these trains don't actually have a whole lot in common. With the primary purpose of this new fleet being to replace the ComEngers, the X'trapolis has been designed as essentially a drop-in replacement to run in existing conditions. They're made up of 6-car sets, roughly the same length as our existing 6-car trains, and won't require any major infrastructure changes to run on existing lines. This differs from our previous newest trains, the HCMTs, which were purpose-built for running through the metro tunnel and are 7 cars long, which required some significant infrastructure changes, including platform extensions. While all our previous 6-car trains are made up of pairs of 3-car sets, the X'trap 2s are a fixed 6-car set with full walk-through access, creating more passenger space by eliminating the 2 centre driver's cabs from the layout. The general makeup of the X'trap 2 consist does have a very clear familial link to the X'trap 1s. Each 3-car X'trapolis 100 is a pair of motor cars, each with a driving cab, either side of an unpowered trailer car, which carries the pantograph. And if you look at that as a 6-car set alongside an X'trap 2, it's the same arrangement of 4 motor cars and 2 trailer cars with the pantographs on the trailers. It's just that the 2 motor cars in the centre have no driver's cabs. At the time of making this video in late April 2026, 7 of these trains have been delivered, and the set we're going to look at is the newest one, number 7, and I can confirm it did have that new train smell. While these trains are in the testing stage, most of them don't have the nose cone fitted over the coupling, which doesn't do much for the aesthetics, but they will have a nose fitted when they enter passenger service. Alright, let's take a look inside. I'm sure the thing most people will want to see are the seats, which are full height just like on the HCMTs. Fortunately, they do have slightly better padding than the rock-hard HCMT seats, and they're actually more similar to this type found on some Velocity sets, which are completely unsuitable for the multi-hour-long routes Velocities run on, but I think they'll be fine for suburban use on the X'trapolis. Interestingly, these seats are mounted entirely on the wall, making it much easier to clean the floor, store things underneath, or roll empty bottles down the full length of the car. The seats have an unusual looking grab bar on the back, which will be great for clinging to while passing over some of Melbourne's iconic mud holes. Having said that though, while I haven't yet been on one of these trains in motion, I do expect the ride quality to be significantly better than the original X'trapolis sets, which have an incredibly rough ride on their spring suspension. But these new trains have proper airbag suspension like all our other current trains. The overall interior layout has a lot in common with the HCMTs, but manages to feel far less cluttered, without the large curved handrails and windbreaks blocking views along the train, and those handrails are replaced by more roof-mounted rails and strap hangers. However, most of the passengers who will use these trains on the Craigieburn, Upfield and Frankston lines will not be used to HCMTs, which only run on the metro tunnel corridor, so the real comparison to make is against the existing ComEng, Siemens and first-gen X'trapolis trains. A major improvement over the current 6-car trains is the provision of 10 wheelchair spaces at each end of the train, 6 in each of the driving motor cars, and another 4 in each trailer car. While that number of wheelchair users on a single train would be extremely unusual, these spaces are also great for standing capacity and will certainly get plenty of use. Each of the driving cars is fitted with a wheelchair ramp which folds out, rather than the traditional type on the older trains which have to be fully lifted by the driver. Keep in mind this is being demonstrated on Newport Workshop's Garden platform, which is a very non-standard platform originally used for Workshops employees, so there are very few places out on the network where the angle will be this severe. The ramp also has another part that can be lowered down to create a short upward slope for any unusually high platforms. The secondary wheelchair areas in the trailer cars also carry ramps, but they're just the conventional ones, so the cabinets are much smaller. The 2 centre motor cars have space at each end for bikes and prams, with a row of fold-up seats, which are actually pretty uncomfortable compared to the fixed ones, so definitely seats of last resort. I believe the plan is to have some straps here to secure bikes, and it'll be really good having a designated space for this. Something that stood out to me visually is that the passenger windows on these trains are rectangular with hard 90-degree corners. compared to every other Melbourne suburban train since the 1950s, which have had rounded corners. Combined with the black borders, I actually kind of like the way this frames the view outside. In another first for a Melbourne train, the passenger doors slide on rails entirely outside the car body, unlike the Siemens plug doors, which are flat when closed, or every other type which slides into a door recess. The lack of a door recess does mean the windows can be quite close to the doors, and this has a side effect of there being very little wall space inside, which doesn't leave much space for maps. There was only one map on the train we inspected, stuck on the wheelchair ramp cabinet, though I assume they'll find space for some more. Anyway, that was a quick look around our new X'trap 2, which will be out on the network carrying passengers very soon. Thanks very much to the project team down at Newport for showing us around, and thanks very much for watching.
Due to safety requirements, we're going to be delayed for around 5 to 10 minutes. Sorry for the inconvenience. We'll be moving again as soon as possible.